When it comes to space, in my experience in past clinical rotations as a student, we had like 5,000 or 6,000 square feet in clinics, never utilized well. Hence why we have a gym as our clinic essentially, but also that means that we need to be better organized for space. So I'd say every day I feel like I can organize stuff better. But right now we're trying to figure out how to do with the space that's become stagnant. So we're trying to solve this issue of what to do with this space. It's kind of our staging area for classes as people enter in through here. But now that we're getting in more food and nutrition stuff with this lovely fridge, we need to figure out what to do with this space. Weeze is making a pyramid out of medicine balls to be aesthetically pleasing. Is it? The best use of space for organization? I don't know. Aesthetically pleasing? Yes. Wow.
Not bad.
Did you have that on your resume?
No.
That's kind of cool. But how long does that last?
Well, until the next medicine ball. I don't work out.
So what we really need to do then is figure out how we can better organize our dumbbells. So we're thinking of a 2-shelf tier system. In space is great. Having clean, organized space is better. Everybody likes clean, organized space. Coaches, athletes, students. Just a matter of being creative of how you organize stuff. This is a significant conversation. Significant conversation.
It's important.
Even our student thinks so. Our student has good ideas.
I do. What if we put all those plates, instead of stacking them vertically and letting them stick to each other, what if we put them in this area where the dumbbells are and put them horizontally? So you can just roll them wherever you want.
I don't have shorts on, I can't.
We squished her quad between
Right
two
there.
plates. Looks like she was in a bar fight. See, this is why organization is important. We are all
Very
interior designers. That could be dope.
Yeah.
I do not know if we have enough space for all the weights horizontally.
True.
Do we? How would we mathematically do that?
You take the diameter, right? Multiply that by 400 and then divide by 7.25. I don't know.
What? Oh.
And the square root.
St. Augustine, you need to have a math class.
All right, so those are the 5 elements that we really base the foundation of most things, if not all things, that we do here at Recharge. Is that fair to say?
Pretty fair.
So we're at work right now. Recharge is work. We love it. We really enjoy it, but it's still work, especially as a startup. What about you? What about people that are working all the time, which is a surprising amount of people. So here, on average, you will spend 90,000 hours at work. That's a third of your life at work. That's a lot. That's a lot of hours.
And over 100 hours a year commuting to get to work. Ugh.
That's a lot of hours. So look, it's hard enough to do work that you love, and we love what we do, but over 80% of people are dissatisfied with their job. So here, you are working a third of your life, you're commuting
100 hours a year-ish.
and if you're one of the 80% that is dissatisfied with their job, it becomes really hard to hit those 5 pillars of health, right? Like something is going to be amiss. So what we really want to talk about today, to finish out the vlog, is how can you maximize those 90 hours in your life at work to do something healthy for yourself? How can you improve the culture of health at work? Whether you're an owner or an employee, it really doesn't matter, because you have a lot of avenues and pathways to live healthier lives, at least affect that. Because here's the kicker here. Stress is the 5th biggest killer in the US.
You can do what Megan did and just get a job at Recharge.
So look, we all go through stress. That's a normal part of life, and it's a normal part of work. But there's things you can do about it, especially work. So let's go over some things that you can do to really help yourself out while you're working. Number 1, move. So we're outside, and you know what we're doing? We're moving right there. So one of the simplest things you can do that is super effective, that we really like to do at Recharge, even though we have a giant facility of awesome weights and stuff, is go for a walk. It's at least a daily occurrence. Even for when we have meetings, we like to defer to walking talks and have a walking meeting when possible.
This is true. 30 minutes in nature, walking, will change your life.
So this is a simple thing that you can tweak at work to really improve your overall quality of health. Because even if you take 30 minutes, like Ryan said, and go for a walk, whether at lunch or even talk to corporate, your HR, or your owner, or if you're the owner, institute a policy just to let people know, hey, it's okay to go outside, it's okay to take a meeting outside, it's okay to move while you meet. And here's the kicker, there's so much research that shows your meetings become more effective when you're walking and doing it. Give it a try.
The second pillar of health is fuel. Now, especially at work, this can be a difficult element of health to work with for a couple of reasons. Number 1, you make a lot of decisions throughout your day, and food tends to be an easy fallback decision to take whatever is convenient and easy. And more often than not at work, what's easy is generally not what we consider the best real food or plant-based or vegetables or stuff along those lines. So the first thing you can do when you're at work is create an environment that allows you to make easy decisions that benefit your nutrition and where you want to go for eating real food that are mostly plants and vegetable based and allow you to feel good throughout your life.
We have a little mini fridge, coffee, and random veggies laying around.
And a knife.
Yeah, I gotta cut the watermelon. So one of the big things with nutrition as well is little nudges, is setting up little things like our vegetables here for people to just grab. If you have candy bowls, if you have just snacks laying around that aren't necessarily healthy, people will eat them. Do better by just setting things out. Don't tell people what to eat. Encourage them by kind of pushing them there without them necessarily being forced into it. Little nudges go a long way.
Out of all 5, I'd argue, and the Harvard study would argue, that our relationships with people has the most impact on our health of anything else. Here at Recharge, we'd probably agree with that. That's why we build and center ourselves around a community. But when it comes down to you at the workplace, I think there's a couple of questions you need to ask yourself. When was the last time you developed a new relationship in your life? When was the last time that you furthered a relationship that you have with somebody at work? Now, I know you spend a whole bunch of time with these people already, but when have you actually got to know that person and develop a relationship? If you can build that community type of feel at work, not only is that going to make you more satisfied to go in, but you're going to develop a relationship that's going to benefit your own health in the long run.
The other piece of that is defining a relationship. Like, are you actually building relationships with people, or are you going into work and doing what you have to do your tasks, and then just leave? Relationships a little bit deeper.
Of course. You have to like the people you work with and get to know them on a deeper level than just coming into work.
The 4th pillar is recover. Exhibit A. Recover has a lot to do with sleep, but it also takes in the fact of, general TLC, tender love and care for yourself, and how you revive yourself, kind of give yourself some energy, how you recharge, perhaps. all those things. And sleep is the easiest way to look about this. And, in a lot of the stats we look at for the workforce, people generally see that work causes them to have insomnia. Or they try to get as much as they can at the day, and it limits their ability to sleep because they prioritize other things. In the long run, science has proven this isn't beneficial. If you're getting less than 6 hours of sleep a night, you're not doing yourself any favors for decision making, for living a high quality life, or for your health. So some of the easiest stuff you can do is to be able to just prioritize sleep in your life, 7 to 9 hours. It doesn't have to be right away getting the exact amount of sleep and learning how to sleep as best you can. It can be, I am going to set aside 7 to 9 hours and see how I do.
So at work, we encourage time away, recharge time, but also naps. There's nothing wrong with taking a nap because it really becomes a smart business decision. Because if you're in that period of time between 2 to 3 to 4 o'clock where most of us kind of hit that speed bump, you can, load up on coffee. And don't get us wrong, we love our coffee here. You can grind it out and not be as productive, or you can take a 15, 20-minute power nap and really reload and then recover and have the ability to finish your work off at a higher level. Or if you don't have a meditation room like us, find some time or make some time at your desk, download a meditation app, put on some headphones that are noise canceling, and just kind of get away and block out that time of 15, 20 minutes, really just for yourself and your mind, to allow yourself to recover. And it makes such a huge difference. 1, for your mental health, 2, for your overall productivity, and 3, just your enjoyment of being at work after that. Plus, I mean, if you have a weighted blanket like this, it helps too.
So endure is our last pillar of health. And this has to do with stress. We mentioned some stats earlier, but most importantly, I think the foundational way you can look at this is that our perception of stress deeply influences the effect it has on our health. If we simply view stress as good or bad, that plays a role on our health outcomes later in life. So just our viewpoint, our perception on whether we believe what we're doing on a daily basis is good or bad for us has a major impact. Now, for those of you at work, that's significant. If you view your work stress as detrimental in your life, it's going to have a greater negative impact on your health than if you view it as a stress that you can handle and get through. Now, that's not always the case. And sometimes you need to find ways in life to create stress to allow you to overcome it and learn to be resilient. People oftentimes do that in the form of exercise, but there's a million other ways for you to do that as well. So you can start with the foundational idea of, what is my perception of stress? We all have it. It's not good or bad. It's part of life. And then 2, what are you doing in your life to help you become more resilient to the stress that you're taking on?
And there's stress carryover. There's things you could do outside of work and practice that carries over to work. And then there's an objective component to stress, because stress has a lot of times to do with feel, right? How often do you say at work, I feel stressed, or you feel tightness in your muscles, I feel tight here, that you project as stress? Having strategies to deal with that, like breathing, like tracking your heart rate. We had a whole video about this that we'll post somewhere in the link. But if you check that out, if you have control, objective control over your body, over how you feel, by tracking your heart rate, by having a breathing strategy, by everything that Ryan said, like practice, that gives you control, which builds resiliency. Those are huge.
And learning that it's a lot of work for not a lot of food.
This is truth. We don't like crabs.
This relationship is over.